students, this is your teacher Manisha Saxena. I welcome you all on my YouTube channel M Saxena Classes. Today I have brought a new tutorial video for you all which is going to be very informative and interesting. So watch the video till the end. If you have not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe and press bell icon so that the notifications of my upcoming videos can reach you immediately. Please do like, share and comment for my motivation. Let us start the chapter.
Now we will read the next form of agriculture, that is plantation agriculture. It is form of commercial farming where crops are grown for profit. That is why you will see some of the important plantation crops like tea, coffee, cocoa, rubber, cotton, oil palms, sugarcane, bananas and pineapples. They have great demand in the market nowadays. Let us understand the characteristics and features of this type of farming. To do this type of farming, you need large property. That is why you see land areas in Darjeeling for tea plantation are so massive. So many people are working round the clock, managing the land and providing technical support to lands, and there are scientific labs and departments which keep an eye on plants, constantly observe its genetic behavior, and you have a good system of transportation to supply final products in the market. Finally, you see large number of laborers plucking leaves, and for all the work are required. All this requires huge capital and money. It is all commercial activity. Now let us see where we find these plantation crops. Cocoa and coffee is found in the West Africa. You will find large tea gardens in India and Sri Lanka. This is due to better setup. Rubber plantation in Malaysia. Sugar and banana plantation in West Indies. Coconut in Philippines. This is because of American and Spanish investment. And next type of agriculture form is extensive commercial grain cultivation. Whenever word comes commercial, remember it's dealing with business. It's dealing with profit. Intensive means large scale operations. So in this type of agriculture, crops are grown in large scale. We are talking about corn, barley, oats and rice. The size of farm is very large. Therefore, all the operations are mechanized in cultivating, growing and harvesting. There is a map showing extensive commercial cultivation. This type of agriculture is best developed in Eurasian steppes, the Canadian and American prairies, the pampas of Argentina, the belts of South Africa, the Australian downs and Canterbury places of New Zealand. The next step of agriculture is mixed farming. It is an agriculture system that comprises farming along with rearing of livestock. This form of agriculture farming is found in highly developed parts of the world, that is northwestern Europe, eastern North America, some parts of Eurasia and the temperate latitudes of southern continents. Most of the crops that falls in this category are wheat, barley, oats, rye, maize, fodder and root crops. Animals like sheep, cattle, pigs and poultry provide the main income along with crops. Now you know it is maintenance for both crops as well as animals. It contains high capital expenditure on farm machinery and building, extensive use chemical fertilizers and green manures, and also by the skill of the farmers. Next one is dairy farming. Dairy products are highly commercial, therefore it is capital intensive activity. Use amount of capital in use of animal shed storage activities for fodder, feeding and mulching. We also need to spend cattle breeding, health care and veterinary services. So it all adds to the cost to dairy farming. You also need a lot of laborers to run a dairy farm, that adds its cost as well. One thing you have to consider is advancement in transportation, pasteurization and other preservation processes. The duration of process of various dairy products have increased. As a result, if you have preserved something, this makes dairy farming lucrative. You can see on the basis of this map, there are three main regions. One is Northwestern Europe, second is Canada, the third belt includes Southeastern Australia, New Zealand and Tasmania. Next is Mediterranean agriculture. We care talking about countries on the either side of Mediterranean Sea. We are talking about the region. All of these countries here, agriculture is highly mechanized agriculture. This region is important supplier of figs, apples, apricots, peach, pears, olives, strawberries and many citrus fruits. You see, all these fruits have high market demand and value. Mediterranean region is famous for grape cultivation. It is called as viticulture. As you know, wines are produced of high quality grapes and such wines have very high market value, and you understand this type of activity will be highly commercial. Now we move to next topic, that is horticulture. Horticulture is referred to art, science and business to growing vegetables, fruit and flowers, nuts, herbs, shrubs, etc. These plants are not big in size, hence no need of big place of land. It is usually located nearby urban areas where there are good transportation links with high standard of living. Again, this type of agriculture is highly commercial. In this type of agriculture, both labor and capital intensive, and in fact use a variety of seeds, fertilizer, insecticides, etc. Horticulture is practiced in Northwest Europe, Northeastern United States of America and Mediterranean regions. These regions are highly developed, so no wonder these methods are highly common there. And the next topic is collective farming. This farming was introduced by Soviet Union to improve the inefficiency of agriculture. Farmers have to pool in all the regions sources like land, fertilizers, seeds, tools, etc. This kind of approach is called socialist approach, meaning everyone is treated equally, but this model soon collapsed and have been modified because there was no profit involved. So these are all the type of agriculture method practiced in different parts of the world. Now we are going to last topic, that is mining. Mining too is primary activity. Mining means process of obtaining minerals from mines. It requires digging, drilling, casting and other type of methods. You will study human history. You will find in every stage human discovered mineral, while in copper age, bronze age, iron age. Therefore, mining is not something new. However, actual development of mining began with Industrial Revolution. It took place after 1760. From there on, the importance of mining is continuously increasing. Let us understand what factors affect mining activity. Physical factors include the size, grade and the mode of occurrence of the deposits. Second is Economic factor. Economic factors such as the demand for the mineral, technology available, the used capital to develop infrastructure, and the labor and transport costs. Depending on the mode of occurrence and the nature of the ore, mining is of two types, surface and underground mining. The surface mining, also known as open cast mining, is the easiest and the cheapest way of mining minerals that occur close to the surface. Overhead costs such as safety precautions and equipment is relatively low in this method. When the ore lies deep below the surface, underground mining method, that is also known as shaft method, has to be used. In this method, vertical shafts have to be sunk. From their underground galleries radiate to reach the minerals. Minerals are extracted and transported to the surface through these passages. It requires specially designed lifts, drills, and used vehicles, ventilation system for safety and efficient movement of people and materials. The developed economies are relating from mining, processing, and refinery stages production due to high labor costs. Means developed countries are moving away from mining. That is why developed nations imported minerals from other nations. Several countries of Africa and few of South America and Asia have over 50% of the earnings from minerals alone. Children, chapter is over now. I hope you find this video informative. Thanks for watching. See you in next video.